My man said he was working late, but I saw him on TikTok at the club. I'm sitting on my couch, minding my business, scrolling through TikTok at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday night, when I see something that makes my soul leave my body and come back just to cuss me out. There's my man, Marcus, my supposedly exhausted, allegedly overworked, baby I'm so tired I can barely keep my eyes open man in the background of somebody's club video, doing the gritty next to a woman in a dress so tight it looked painted on. And before you ask, yes, I'm absolutely sure it was him. That man was wearing the same purple polo shirt I ironed for him that morning. The same one. I know because I burnt a little spot on the collar that I tried to hide by flipping it under. And there it was, on TikTok, collar flipped, Marcus looking like he just discovered the fountain of youth at Club Euphoria. My name is Shanice Williams. I'm 32 years old, and I've been dating Marcus for 3 years. 3 whole years of his mama's potato salad at every cookout. 3 years of pretending to like his homeboy Darnell, who always smells like a mixture of Old Spice and regret. And 3 years of believing that working late meant actually working late. I sat there on my couch, frozen, watching this 15-second video on repeat like it was the Zapruder film. My best friend Keisha, who was on FaceTime with me when I found it, was screaming so loud I had to turn my volume down. "Girl, is that Marcus? Is that Marcus?" she yelled, her face so close to her camera I could see her pores. "Keisha, I can literally see the burn mark on his collar. The audacity. The unmitigated gall. Shanice, you better..." I hung up on her. Not because I was mad at her, but because I needed to think. And thinking is impossible when Keisha is in your ear sounding like a sports commentator at a boxing match. I called Marcus. It rang 6 times before going to voicemail. I called again. Same thing. On the 3rd try, he picked up, and I could hear club music in the background before he tried to cover it up. "Hey, baby," he said, and I could hear him walking, probably trying to find somewhere quiet. "What's up? I'm still at the office, just finishing up this presentation." Marcus. "Yeah, baby? What club is your office in?" Silence. The kind of silence that speaks volumes. The kind of silence that writes whole dissertations. "What you talking about, Shanice?" "I'm talking about the fact that you're on TikTok doing the gritty at Club Euphoria when you told me you were working late on a presentation." More silence, followed by what sounded like him dropping his phone, picking it up, and then the music got louder, like he was walking deeper into the club out of spite. "Baby. Look, don't baby me, Marcus. I can see the burn mark on your collar, the one I made this morning, the one you're wearing right now in this video. Shanice, you're being paranoid. I'm at the office. Somebody probably just has a video of someone who looks like me. Marcus, you're literally wearing the shirt I ironed this morning, doing a dance that you claim you don't know how to do whenever we're at weddings, standing next to a woman who looks like she Instagram modeled her way out of a fashion emergency. I gotta go, Shanice. I'll call you when I'm done with work." He hung up on me. Marcus hung up on me. I sat there, staring at my phone, feeling every emotion at once. I wasn't just mad. I was disappointed, hurt, confused, and somewhere in the mix, I was already planning my outfit for confrontation day. But here's where my story takes a turn that not even I saw coming. The next morning, I woke up to 47 text messages. 47. Most of them were from my mama, and when my mama sends more than 3 texts in a row, somebody's either dead, dying, or about to wish they were dead. "Shanice, call me now. Shanice, this is urgent. Girl, if you don't call me in the next 5 minutes, I'm coming over there. Your Auntie Lorraine is bringing a guest to Thanksgiving dinner. Call me." I called her, still half asleep, still thinking about Marcus and his TikTok debut. "Mama, what's wrong? Is somebody hurt?" "Worse," she said, her voice dropping to that tone she uses when she's about to deliver news that's going to ruin your whole week. "Your Auntie Lorraine is bringing her new boyfriend to Thanksgiving dinner tomorrow." "Okay, and?" "Auntie Lorraine always brings somebody. Remember last year when she brought that man who claimed he invented Velcro?" "Shanice." My mama's voice got quiet, too quiet. "It's Darius. Everything stopped. The earth stopped rotating. Time stood still. Birds fell out of the sky. "Excuse me, your Auntie Lorraine is dating Darius. You're Darius. Your ex-boyfriend, Darius." I dropped my phone, picked it up, dropped it again, finally got a grip on it, and brought it back to my ear. "Mama, that's not funny. Do I sound like I'm laughing? Your auntie called me this morning, all giddy, talking about she finally found a good man, a man who treats her right, a man who knows how to dress and has a good job. Then she sent me a picture, Shanice. It's Darius. Same Darius you dated for 2 years in your 20s. Same Darius who broke up with you because he said he needed to find himself. Apparently, he found himself right into your auntie's arms. I couldn't breathe. I literally could not get air into my lungs. Darius. Darius Thompson. The man I dated from ages 24 to 26. The man who knew every insecurity I had. The man who had met my entire family multiple times. The man whom my Auntie Lorraine had met at my 25th birthday party and told me was a good catch. And now he was her good catch. Mama, she knows that's my ex-boyfriend, right? She has to know. Shanice, your auntie is 51 years old and has the memory of a goldfish when it comes to anything that doesn't directly affect her. I'm not sure she remembers, but I couldn't bring myself to tell her over the phone. I need you to come to dinner tomorrow so we can handle this as a family. Handle what? The fact that my auntie is dating my ex-boyfriend? Mama, I don't even know where to start with that sentence. I know, baby, but family is family, and Thanksgiving is Thanksgiving. We'll figure it out. I hung up and immediately called Keisha back. Girl, you will never believe. I already know, Keisha screamed. Your cousin Tasha just texted me. Your auntie is bringing Darius to Thanksgiving? Darius? Girl, this is better than any Tyler Perry movie ever made. Keisha, this is not funny. This is a crisis. Oh, it's hilarious. And wait, it gets better. Didn't you say Marcus was acting shady last night? Yeah, but what does that have to do with... Girl, everything's connected. You're about to have the most dramatic Thanksgiving since the Pilgrims. You need to go to that dinner. You have to go. Keisha, I can't sit across from Darius while he's holding hands with my Auntie Lorraine. I'll lose my mind. Exactly. That's why you need to bring Marcus. Make him suffer too. But Marcus is... a liar who was at the club when he said he was at work? Yeah, I remember. Bring him anyway. Make it weird for everybody. Against all logic and reason, I decided Keisha was right. If I was going to suffer through the most awkward Thanksgiving dinner in the history of awkward Thanksgiving dinners, Marcus was coming with me. I called him. He answered on the first ring, which told me he knew he was in trouble. Baby, about last night. Save it. You're coming to Thanksgiving dinner at my mama's house tomorrow at 3 p.m. Wear something nice. Don't be late. Shanice, I can explain. 3 p.m., Marcus. Don't make me repeat myself. I hung up before he could protest. The next day arrived faster than I wanted it to. I spent the morning getting ready, trying on 5 different outfits before settling on a burgundy dress that said, I'm grown, I'm sophisticated, and I will absolutely fight you if necessary. Marcus picked me up at 2:30 p.m., looking nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. Baby, can we talk about the club thing? He asked as soon as I got in the car. Not now, Marcus. I have bigger problems. Bigger than me lying about where I was last night? So you admit you lied? I was at the club, okay? But it's not what you think. Darnell wanted to... Marcus, if the next words out of your mouth are, Darnell wanted to, I need you to stop talking immediately. Darnell has never made a good decision in his entire life. That man still uses Internet Explorer. We pulled up to my mama's house at exactly 2:58 p.m. The driveway was already full, my uncle's Cadillac, my cousin's Honda, and a shiny new BMW that I didn't recognize. That's probably Darius's car, I muttered. Wait, who's Darius? My ex-boyfriend who's now dating my Auntie Lorraine. Marcus's head snapped toward me so fast, I heard his neck crack. Your what is dating your who? You heard me. Now come on, and please, for the love of everything holy, do not make this worse. We walked up to the house, and I could already hear the chaos inside. My mama's house during Thanksgiving always sounded like a combination of a family reunion and a police negotiation. I opened the door, and immediately my little cousin Deshawn ran past us screaming, chased by my other cousin Aaliyah, who was wielding a wooden spoon. "Deshawn took the last roll," Aaliyah yelled. "Grandma said I could have it," Deshawn yelled back. My mama appeared from the kitchen, wearing her kiss the cook apron, and the expression of a woman who had been cooking since 5 a.m. and was not in the mood for nonsense. "Shanice, baby, you made it. And you brought Marcus." She hugged us both, then leaned in close to me and whispered, "Your auntie's in the living room." "With him?" "I haven't said anything yet." "Mama, we have to tell her." "I know, baby, but let's get through Grace first. The Lord knows we're gonna need it." We walked into the living room, and there they were, Auntie Lorraine, wearing a royal blue dress and enough perfume to fumigate a stadium, sitting on the couch next to Darius. Darius looked exactly the same as he did 6 years ago, just with a little more forehead and a little less hairline. He was wearing a cream-colored sweater and slacks, looking like he just stepped out of a Macy's catalog for men who date their ex-girlfriend's aunts. When his eyes met mine, I watched his entire soul leave his body. "Shanice," he said, his voice cracking like he was going through puberty again. "Darius," I replied, my voice flat enough to iron clothes on. Auntie Lorraine looked between us, confused. "Oh, y'all know each other?" The room got quiet. Everyone who was within earshot stopped what they were doing. My cousin Tasha pulled out her phone like she was about to record what happened next. "Auntie Lorraine," I said slowly, "Darius is my ex-boyfriend." My auntie blinked. Once, twice, 3 times. Then she laughed. "Girl, stop playing. Darius, you dated my niece?" Darius looked like he wanted to dissolve into the couch cushions. "Lorraine, I didn't know Shanice was your niece. You never showed me pictures, and she never mentioned having an Auntie Lorraine." "Because I call her Auntie Rain," I said, my voice getting higher. "I've literally talked about Auntie Rain 1,000 times when we were dating." Auntie Lorraine stood up, her hands on her hips. "Wait a minute. Darius, you're telling me you dated my niece and broke up with her because you needed to find yourself?" "I was young and stupid," Darius said weakly. "You're still stupid," I shot back. "You're dating my aunt." "I didn't know." "How do you not know? You never told me your aunt's real name was Lorraine. You always called her Auntie Rain, and she never mentioned having a niece named Shanice." Auntie Lorraine turned to me. "Baby, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. He told me his ex-girlfriend's name was Niecy. That's what he called me. My nickname." Marcus, who had been silent this whole time, leaned over and whispered, "This is wild." "Marcus, not now," I hissed. "Who's Marcus?" Darius asked, looking at Marcus for the first time. "I'm her boyfriend," Marcus said, puffing out his chest. "The one who was at the club last night when he said he was working late?" Auntie Lorraine asked. I whipped my head around. "How do you know about that?" "Baby, I was at Club Euphoria last night. That's where I saw Darius. I literally recorded him doing the gritty for my TikTok." Everything clicked into place, like a terrible puzzle. "Wait," I said slowly. "Auntie Lorraine, you took that video?" "Yeah, it blew up. I got like 10,000 likes. And then in the comments, somebody said, 'Ain't that the dude from the business district?' And that's how me and Darius started talking. Some girl tagged him. We connected, and boom, love connection." I turned to Marcus. "So you were at the club with Darnell, trying to get over seeing Darius there with some woman I didn't know was your aunt, and I couldn't tell you because I wasn't supposed to be there in the first place, because I told you I was working late. But really, Darnell convinced me to go out because his ex was going to be there and he needed moral support." The room was spinning. My mama appeared with a glass of wine and handed it to me. "You're gonna need this, baby." My Uncle Jerome walked in, took one look at the situation, and walked right back out, yelling, "I'm not getting involved." "Okay," my mama said, clapping her hands together. Let's all sit down and figure this out like adults. We all sat. Me and Marcus on one couch, Darius and Auntie Lorraine on the other, my mama in the middle like a referee at a boxing match. First of all, my mama said, looking at Auntie Lorraine, Rain, did you really not know this was Shanice's ex-boyfriend? Mama, I swear, I had no idea. He told me his ex's name was Niecy, and we haven't talked about her much because I don't like talking about people's exes. You know how I am. My mama turned to Darius. And you, young man, you really didn't know Lorraine was Shanice's aunt? Mrs. Williams, I promise you, I had no idea. Shanice always called her Auntie Rain, and Lorraine never showed me family pictures or mentioned having a niece named Shanice. We only started dating 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks. They've been dating for 3 weeks. And you, my mama said, turning to Marcus. Why were you at the club when you told Shanice you were working late? Marcus sighed. Because Darnell's ex-girlfriend was going to be there and he was scared to go alone. I didn't want to tell Shanice because I knew she'd be mad that I was going out on a weeknight, and I was too stupid to realize that lying about it was worse than just being honest. My mama looked at all of us like we were the most disappointing group of people she'd ever seen. Let me get this straight. Marcus lied about going to the club. Lorraine went to the club and recorded Marcus in the background of a video while she was there on a date with Darius, who happens to be Shanice's ex-boyfriend. But nobody knew because names are hard, and communication is apparently optional in this family. We all nodded silently. Jesus, be a fence, my mama muttered. Okay, here's what's going to happen. We're going to eat dinner. We're going to be civil, and after dinner, y'all are going to figure out your lives. But right now, we're going to give thanks because clearly, all of y'all need Jesus. Dinner was the most awkward meal I've ever experienced. My cousin Tasha kept trying to make small talk, but every conversation somehow circled back to the elephant in the room. So, Darius, what do you do for work? I'm in marketing. Oh, that's interesting. Didn't you do marketing, Shanice? No, Tasha. I do graphic design. Oh, right. Didn't Darius introduce you to graphic design? Tasha! My mama snapped. After dinner, we all ended up in the living room again. The kids were in the basement, and the adults were scattered around, pretending to watch football, but really waiting to see what would happen next. Auntie Lorraine spoke first. Shanice, baby, I am so sorry. If I had known, I never would have. It's okay, Auntie Rain, I said, and I surprised myself by meaning it. You didn't know, and honestly, me and Darius broke up 6 years ago. I'm over it. Darius looked relieved. Really? Really? I'm with Marcus now. I looked at Marcus, who still looked nervous, even though Marcus is on thin ice for lying about the club. Baby, I am so sorry, Marcus said, grabbing my hand. I should have just told you the truth. I was being stupid. You were being very stupid, I agreed, but I appreciate you admitting it. Wait, Darius said, looking confused. So you're not mad at me, Darius? I was mad at you 6 years ago, when you broke up with me because you needed to find yourself. I'm over it now, but I am a little weirded out by you dating my aunt. Hey, Auntie Lorraine said. I'm a catch. You are Auntie Rain, but he's still my ex. Auntie Lorraine looked at Darius, then at me, then back at Darius. You know what? This is too complicated. Darius, baby, you are a wonderful man, but I can't date my niece's ex-boyfriend. That's just no. That's a line I can't cross. Darius looked disappointed but nodded. I understand. I'm sorry, Lorraine. I really liked you. I liked you too, baby. But family comes first. My mama, who had been watching all of this with a glass of wine in her hand, stood up and raised her glass. I would like to propose a toast, she said. To family, to honesty, to communication, and to never ever dating your niece's ex-boyfriend, no matter how good he looks in a sweater. We all laughed and clinked our glasses together. Later that night, after everyone had gone home and it was just me and Marcus in the car, he turned to me and said, "That was the craziest Thanksgiving I've ever been to." "Welcome to my family," I said. Every holiday is an adventure. Shanice, I need you to know that I'm never lying to you again. About anything. Even small things. Even if I think the truth will make you mad. Because the alternative is so much worse. Good, I said. Because if I see you on TikTok at a club again, when you said you were at work, I'm not calling you. I'm just changing the locks and blocking your number. Fair, he said. Very fair. We drove in silence for a minute before I started laughing. What's funny? Marcus asked. My auntie really dated my ex-boyfriend. Like, that really happened. That's not a fever dream. Your family is insane. They're your family too now, so buckle up. When we got to my apartment, Marcus walked me to my door. Can I come in? He asked. Not tonight, I said. Tonight, I need to process the fact that my life is a sitcom. But tomorrow, you can take me to a nice dinner, and we can talk about how you're going to earn back my trust. Deal, he said, kissing me on the forehead. I love you, Shanice. I love you too, Marcus. Even though you're an idiot, a repentant idiot, the best kind. I watched him drive away and went inside, immediately calling Keisha. Girl, you are not going to believe what just happened, I said. Shanice, I already know. Tasha sent me a 45-minute voice note. Of course she did. So what are you going to do? About what? About Marcus. About Darius. About your auntie. Keisha, I'm going to do what I always do. Wake up tomorrow, go to work, and thank God that my life, as crazy as it is mine. That's very mature of you. I'm a grown woman, Keisha. I don't have time for drama. Girl, you just sat through Thanksgiving dinner with your boyfriend who lied to you about being at the club and your ex-boyfriend who's dating your aunt. You are made of drama. She had a point. 3 days later, my mama called me. Shanice, baby, I need to tell you something. My heart sank. What now, Mama? Your Auntie Lorraine met someone new. Already? Mama, it's been 3 days. I know, baby, but get this, it's Darnell. I dropped my phone. When I picked it up, my mama was laughing so hard she was crying. Mama, that's not funny. Baby, Darnell met her at the grocery store yesterday, and apparently they hit it off. She invited him to dinner tomorrow night. Mama, Darnell is Marcus's best friend. I know. Isn't this amazing? Amazing? Mama, this is a disaster waiting to happen. Or it's the universe's way of keeping things interesting. I hung up and immediately called Marcus. Did you know Darnell is going on a date with my Auntie Lorraine? He what? Your best friend is dating my aunt. Shanice, I swear I had no idea. Let me call him right now. 5 minutes later, Marcus called me back. He said she's a mature woman who knows what she wants. His words, not mine. Marcus, your best friend is dating my aunt. I know. This is insane. I know. We have to stop this. Shanice, they're both grown. What can we do? He had a point, but I didn't want to admit it. The next family dinner was in 2 weeks. My mama had declared it Family Reconciliation Night, which really just meant, come watch more drama unfold. Darnell showed up with flowers for Auntie Lorraine. She was wearing a yellow dress and looked happier than I'd seen her in months. Shanice, baby, she said, hugging me. Darnell is wonderful. Thank you for having such great taste in friends. I looked at Marcus, who was trying not to laugh. Darius wasn't there, thank God. But according to my mama, he'd sent a card apologizing for the whole situation and wishing everyone well. That's big of him, my mama said. That's the least he could do, I replied. Dinner went surprisingly well. Darnell was on his best behavior, making everyone laugh with his stories and complimenting my mama's cooking like his life depended on it. At one point, Auntie Lorraine leaned over to me and said, "You know, baby, I think everything happens for a reason. If I hadn't gone to that club, I wouldn't have made that TikTok. If I hadn't made that TikTok, Darius wouldn't have reached out. If Darius hadn't reached out, I wouldn't have gone through that whole thing with you and Marcus. And if I hadn't gone through that, I wouldn't have been at the grocery store at the exact moment Darnell was there buying the last box of Frosted Flakes. That's a lot of ifs, Auntie Rain. That's life, baby. A lot of ifs that somehow turn into meant-to-bes. Later, when everyone was sitting around talking and laughing, my mama stood up and clinked her glass. "I want to say something," she announced. "This family is crazy. We're loud, we're messy, we get into each other's business, and sometimes we accidentally date each other's ex-boyfriends." Everyone laughed, but at the end of the day, we love each other. We show up for each other. We forgive each other. And we always make sure there's enough mac and cheese for everybody. "Amen to that," Uncle Jerome yelled from the kitchen. My mama continued, "Life is complicated. Relationships are complicated. But family? Family is simple. You love them, you support them, and you don't judge them for their questionable dating choices." She looked at Auntie Lorraine, who raised her glass back at her. "So here's to family, to forgiveness, to second chances, and to whoever decided to invent TikTok, because without it, we wouldn't have this story to tell." We all laughed and clinked our glasses together. As the night wound down and people started leaving, Marcus pulled me aside. "You know what I learned from all this?" he asked. "That you should never lie about going to the club?" "Well, yeah, that. But also that your family is amazing. They're crazy, but they're amazing, and I'm lucky to be a part of it. Even though your best friend is dating my aunt, especially because my best friend is dating your aunt, it's like we're connected in weird, cosmic ways now. Marcus, we were already connected. That's called being in a relationship. You know what I mean." I did know what he meant. And as weird as everything had been, I was grateful for it. Grateful for my messy, complicated, loving family. Grateful for a boyfriend who learned from his mistakes. Grateful for an aunt who always chose family first. And grateful for TikTok, because without it, none of this would have happened. 3 months later, I was scrolling through TikTok again when I saw something that made me laugh so hard I couldn't breathe. It was Auntie Lorraine and Darnell doing a couples dance challenge in my mama's living room. The caption read, "When you find your person in the freezer section arguing over frosted flakes, tag someone who found love in an unexpected place." It had 50,000 likes. I sent it to Marcus with the message, "Our families are TikTok famous now." He replied, "At least I'm not in the background this time." "Yet," I wrote back, "life is funny. You can plan everything perfectly: who you date, what you do, where you go, and then the universe laughs and throws you a curveball wrapped in a TikTok video." But the real moral of my story isn't about social media or clubs or even awkward family dinners. It's about showing up. It's about being honest, even when honesty is hard. It's about forgiving people when they mess up, because we all mess up. And it's about family, the people who drive you crazy, who date your ex-boyfriends, who accidentally film your boyfriend at the club, and who love you anyway. Because at the end of the day, when everything else falls apart, family is what holds you together. Even if that family includes your aunt dating your boyfriend's best friend, your ex-boyfriend sending apology cards, and your cousin Tasha recording every moment for future blackmail purposes. That's the beauty of it all. The chaos, the drama, the laughter, the love. That's what makes life worth living. And that's what makes Thanksgiving dinner worth surviving. Even if you have to see your man on TikTok at the club first. Like this video if it touched something in you. Subscribe if you want to hear more stories about what it means to be human, to be family, and to choose love even when it's complicated. I'll see you next time.